Okay guys, our factoring marathon continues. Now let's review factor by grouping, okay? Now, factor by grouping, I always check if I can do factor by grouping when I see 4 terms. So, let's go here. Factor by grouping, okay? And I get like a little clue to try to do this when I see 4 terms, okay? We've never really looked at factoring 4 terms this year. Again, this is something you should have seen before, but if you haven't, here we go. Let me show you. This is how it works. We take x cubed plus 3x squared minus x minus 3, and what we do is we group it, okay? We just say, let's put the first 2 guys together, and let's put these 2 guys together. Okay, now this looks like multiplication, but it's not. It's really plus in the middle there. All right. Now, what we do now is we just take out the GCF. Okay, so check it out. X cubed plus 3x squared. Okay, this is what I grouped together. And then I also grouped together negative x minus 3. So I look at x cubed and 3x squared, and I take out the GCF. The GCF here is x squared. They both have an x squared, so I take it out. What am I left with? I'm left with x plus 3. Okay? Now, I come over here. This is a rule. Whenever the leading term here is negative, we must take out negative 1, in addition to anything else we can take out. Okay, so over here, I'm going to take out my negative 1, and then I'll take out any other GCF here. However, there is no GCF. That's an x. That's a 3. They got nothing in common. So negative 1 just happens to be all I take out in this one. And what I get here is x. When I take out a negative 1 here, I get positive x. And when I take out a negative 1 here, I get plus 3, positive 3. Okay, taking out a negative 1 changes everybody's sign. All right? Now, in order for us to be able to factor by grouping, what happened here must happen. The parentheses must come out the same. So, what this really is, you guys, so you understand, this is x squared times this minus 1 times this. And if you think of it like this, that this is something, wait, I misdrew that too long. If you think of this as a term and this as another term, these 2 terms have x plus 3 in common. They both have an x plus 3. So we can factor out the GCF again, which in this case is x plus 3. Okay? When I take out the x plus 3 from here, I'm left with x squared. And when I take out the x plus 3 from here, I'm left with minus 1. Okay? And that's it. Boom, I factored it. That's factor by grouping. Now, I know that maybe what I said about this and taking out the x plus 3 was very confusing for some. And if it was, don't worry. Guess what? You can just learn that what happens after you get the same thing in parentheses here, you just do one set of parentheses with that thing and another set of parentheses with what's in front of them. Boom, boom, done. Okay? Now, you guys, believe it or not, we can actually keep factoring because this is ax squared plus bx plus c. It's x squared plus 0x minus 1, okay? And this, if we do this, I want to multiply to make -1 and add to make 0. So that's going to be +1 and -1. The only way I can get 0 in the middle is if these two are opposites, +1 minus 1. And +1 times -1 is -1 there. So this guy right here actually factors to be x plus 1 and x minus 1. And then we still have the x plus 3 in the front. So once we do one factoring technique, sometimes we see that what we get left with can also factor, okay? So that's this all the way factored, all right? Now in the next video, we're going to learn a shortcut for this guy, okay? Because he's actually a special kind of quadratic equation. We'll talk about him next.